Welcome to tonight's episode of the Second Chance Queen podcast. My name is Kristianna Mrjenovich, your host, the Second Chance Queen herself. I'm so excited to interview an amazing queen tonight. Her name is Lana Schulenberg. She is a full-time equestrian show jumper, an international model, and a pageant girl. She's a title holder with the Australia Galaxy Pageant and is a Miss Teen Galaxy Australia national finalist for 2026. Her platform is Elevate You, which is a platform for advocacy of youth membership and lifelong learning, and she has dedicated over 1,500 hours towards volunteering on youth retreats. I'm so excited to talk with her tonight. Please join me in welcoming Lana Schulenberg. Welcome to the Second Chance Queen podcast, Lana. I'm so excited to have you on today, and I would love to kick off your episode by just having you tell us in your own words what your pivotal second chance moment is. If there's a moment in time where you can pinpoint maybe a pivot or whatever that second chance may be, what that looks like for you.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Kristianna. It's such a pleasure to be able to talk on this amazing podcast. I would definitely say that my second chance / pivotal moment was earlier this year in May when I did get to compete in my first ever pageant at the Australia Galaxy Pageant National Finals. It was a week filled with so much growth and just genuine pure joy. And after coming second runner-up and having the chance to compete again in the teen division was a moment where I was like, I actually can choose to put my best foot forward, learn to grow from this opportunity and take the dedication and commitment seriously. And to now being here again as a national finalist, but this time with, the new learning, the new growth of actually experiencing pageant week and knowing what all of this amazing impact gets to do for not only myself, but my community around me was definitely my pivotal moment where I just put it upon myself. Like I could do so much more now that I know. And I got to experience it all. And I feel like this second chance is just another version of myself. It's my best foot forward. And it really just came down to not only experiencing the competition, but seeing what all of the queens were doing this year, following their journey, making new friends. And that was really, the kickstart moment for me to start again and give it another go. And I'm so, so grateful that I can do it again as a teen. It's so special.
I love that. And I'm in a very similar boat to you. We have kind of like a similar story with the whole pageant experience because my pageant system that I'm competing in 2 weeks this is my second chance at the title. And I was second runner up last year as well. So now I'm going in with that same personal growth kind of mindset that you have, which is so refreshing to see. It's so nice to see. And I can relate to how that is. How was it for you kind of joining the pageantry world? Because I was kind of new when I started a couple years ago too. So what was the biggest kind of shock that you found joining the pageantry community?
Yeah. So for me, my background is full-time equestrian show jumping. So I'm a horse rider and I've also done modeling since 2022. So it really was very, very different. I had no idea what I was signing myself up for. And of course, until I got to compete, I really had no idea what it was going to be like. I think everyone comes into a pageant for the first time with kind of a predisposition or even just a rough idea on how things are going to go. Biggest shock was how supportive my system was and the people in it. I never imagined I was going to make so many good friendships and have so many moments of just being with the other contestants, having fun, laughing, filming content together. It is such an environment that forces you to be your most polite, genuine, authentic self. I always assumed that it was going to feel more competitive, but I forgot it was a competition so many times. I just felt like I was backstage hanging out with a big group of gals. So that was very different for me because coming from a regular, like really serious sport competition background, people don't talk to each other. It's really just focused on you and your horse, your partnership, and your team. So it's really only between a coach and rider that is pretty much the conversation you have. And before you go in the ring, it's like stakes are so high. But pageantry, it was just like a breath of fresh air. It really was. And I love to talk about that experience for me. And even just coming home and like, even my mum being able to watch it as well and bonding with the other mums that was really, really cool. We still talk about it to this day. The people we met, the memories we made, just those little conversations of, even going in the elevator and just, something funny happens. Yeah, so that was my biggest shock coming into pageantry. Yes, the one was at 2025 this year, experiencing finals, and then of course, starting the pre pageant work in 2024 last year, end of last year.
Yeah, people don't realize how much of the pre pageant work actually goes in before you hit the stage. I mean, the majority of the work that you do is behind the scenes leading up to the pageant finals and into that time period. So I love that you acknowledge that because people don't realize how much work queens really put in behind the scenes, and they're really just seeing like the cherry on top of the cake when they're watching finals. It's a high stakes kind of situation.
Mm.
And I love that you are an equestrian, show jumper. I've interviewed other Australian queens that are show jumpers. That tends to be a thing for you guys, I feel like. And I did English writing way back when I was a teen. So I have that commonality, that love of horses. And I love that you highlight the difference between show jumping and
Yes.
pageantry because there is a stark difference. Is it difficult for you to balance that or to kind of switch modes, or do you find it pretty seamless?
I definitely would say my first time going to finals, balancing it was super hard because I had no idea. You kind of with horse riding, it's very dangerous. So when it came to finding down the schedule that was going to support me having enough time to prepare for traveling and also prepare that if I fall or if I have an accident, I have time to recover. So that was the most stressful part is figuring out when do I finish riding? When's my last competition going to be before I drop everything and head straight back into pageant land. You know what I mean? So I think coming into next year now, I have figured it out. It really does come down to pre-planning things. And like you mentioned, a lot of people don't fully understand the extent we go to. We organize even down to the hour sometimes. And, even the conversations and emails between us trying to figure out the time zones, what time can you do, what time do we do to fit it in the schedule. It's hard work, but it's absolutely worth it. And we always get something positive back. And yeah, so the horses, it was tricky, but I have figured it out now.
I love that. And the funniest thing is, I kind of was telling my husband not too long ago that I kind of felt like a horse being in a race or like a greyhound being raced, some sort of animal that people are kind of placing bets on because as pageant queens, we're all like on our track, preparing, trying to become our best selves, getting ready for the pageant. And you're watching the other competitors and you're seeing what they're doing and they're in their own lane and it's different. But then the time comes and I feel like people they kind of place bets on who they think the queen's going to be, who's going to take the title, who's going to be in the top 5 and all
Mm,
these things. And it kind of reminds me almost of horse racing or greyhound racing because I feel like people are taking bets and you're kind of like, am I going to be the horse that pulls out of this race? I don't know. So I think it's so funny. And that kind of analogy popped into my head the other day. And I said, you better be betting on me to my husband. And he kind of laughed and he was like, what are you talking about? And I explained it to him and he's like, I
yeah.
never would have thought of it that way, but that's kind of
Mm,
accurate.
it
So
is.
you're kind of getting it from both ends. You've got that pageant horse race going and you've got the show jumping going. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the way you described it is really accurate.
I don't know why I thought of it. I think it's just when you start getting that tunnel vision, like right before you get to finals, where you're really like, okay, the bets are on, the stakes are high, I'm feeling this, I want it. I feel like it's that same adrenaline push that you get right before either you go out on stage or you're going out to perform with your horse and you're just kind of hoping that things are going to perform the way that you want them to. And I compared it and he was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. So that's my new comparison, I guess. Pageant girls are also like show horses. That's the
Yes.
thing. I can tell that you very clearly love the galaxy system. And every single queen that I have talked to absolutely loves the galaxy system. So I would love to know what your favorite part of galaxy is.
Ooh, I love that question. My favorite part of Galaxy is that it is a system that is set up for you to always come home with something very, very valuable. I came home from, of course, finals earlier this year as a really transformed person. I'd spent, those last few months of preparing, meeting people, getting contacts with amazing people, and just having the opportunity to go out into your community, reach out to anyone in the media as well, and grow yourself, grow your platform. And that unlocked so many amazing things for me. I love that Galaxy sets you up to win regardless of the crown. And that's exactly how I felt. I felt like I really had launched this new version of myself. I was able to even start my platform, Elevate You, which is my platform for advocacy of youth mentorship and lifelong learning. And because of that, I was able to now do live events. I think I've done 3 this year so far, and I met people have, like, networked with me in such amazing ways, and that is all because I chose to say yes to Galaxy and allowed it to just transform me in the most beautiful way. So definitely the Galaxy, it always gives you something. Like, you put in the work, it gives you the most valuable experiences and networking opportunities ever.
I wholeheartedly love that you talk about the networking opportunities because I think that is such an important aspect of pageantry that people don't understand or sometimes fully don't take advantage of. I'm one of those people where I definitely will say yes to like every networking opportunity I can have because you never know who you're going to wind up in a room with and what conversations you're going to have. So I love that you highlight that. That is so smart, and you're a teen. So if you keep going with pageantry, you have a wall that you could be in this realm. And knowing about networking early is
Yes.
very, very smart, girlfriends. I love that you've managed to kind of nail that down already. And I also love that Galaxy sets you up and makes you feel like you have success, regardless of the outcome. Because sometimes in sports, you don't always feel that way. So the fact that you're able to walk away with that is very, very
Yeah.
special. And I love that. And I would love to know more about Elevate You. We've just heard a snippet about your platform, but tell us more about those details, what you're really wanting to accomplish, what your goals are, and if there's ways we can help, how we can get involved.
Yeah, so I started Elevate You about in March, April this year. And pretty much I started it based with the intention of combining my life experience of being mentored in the horse world, and of course, my lived experience with modeling now internationally as well. And a combination of all the most significant life lessons that I've learned. And of course, I'm now only 18 years old, but I've had some of the most unique experiences that have shaped me in terms of personal growth. So I put that intention out there. I made the platform, and it's all inspired and altered in so many unique ways. So the first few things that I did with Elevate You was, of course, my riding retreats. So the riding retreats I run from my beautiful property here in Australia. So I have young girls come in with their horses, ponies, and they even can sometimes ride my horses. And what we do is I give riding lessons to the girl, and after their writing lessons, we do interactive games. We do things that are set them up bond with each other, make them work together as a group. Pretty all of the foundational skills that I either experienced in pageantry, in modeling, or things that help me become a more confident and capable person. So we finished our first holiday retreat in June of this year, June, July, and then my second writing retreat, we had even another girl attend, and that was only about 2 weeks ago. So done 2 of the writing retreats, and I definitely say that's one of the more popular things that I've offered. In addition to Elevate U's writing and horse riding focused stuff, I also do quite a lot of mindset and meditation retreats as well. So that's kind of like the lifelong learning aspects that I've brought in my advocacy. So with that, we've done 2 of the mindset and reset events in my amazing yoga room here on my property also. And literally 2 days ago, we had our last one of the year. It was Christmas themed, and we offered a meditation and mindset retreat for how many people did we have? 11 people came and supported it. So we decided to combine my skills and my advocacy of all sorts of mindset aspects, and we tailored it to the people who came so we can reset for the new year. We can put in some goals and ambitions in place and also get ourselves in a mental state of mind that allows us to continue to grow and be grateful for what this year had to offer for us. So I will be posting that very soon to see what we got up to. And also TIA, which is the Australia Galaxy Pageant official charity. So, alongside, of course, my own ambitions to help my community of youth and adults through lifelong learning and youth mentorship, I also combined that with Batia because I wanted to raise funds for a cause that I know is going to continue the longevity of not only my own message, but their message as well. So, yeah, Elevate's You's goal and long term ambition is to reach anyone and wherever the part of the world. So not only just in my own community. So I love that through online platforms and resourcing and networking and be able to share more of the resources that I have. So I'd say the best way I can continue to share Elevate's You's message is definitely through my Instagram page. That is at elevateu_17. And that's where I'm going to be posting all the details for the retreats, the events, and even some online educational resources, such as my own life experience videos. I've done little snippets for Instagram, just, little touches of my own personal insight for managing horse in personal growth, dealing with the highs and lows of sport, all things that are life transferable skills. So yeah, that is a large summary of Elevate You. I'm sure you can tell it's something that I want to keep growing and include as much as I know into it.
I love that. And it seems to combine so effortlessly with Batir, which is something that
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of with Australia. It's a huge thing. And our system, my system is International Ms, and we have a very similar mental wellness initiative that's
Yeah.
called Still She Rose, and I'm an ambassador with them. And it's so important that we have these mental health based and wellness resources. I love that you're providing them and also part. So that's really cool to see. And the mindset workshops, we need to give a shout out for that for a second, because at my system, we actually have a mindfulness workshop on one of our competition mornings. And last year, I had some personal turmoil kind of going on, and nobody really knew about it, but it was really affecting how I was thinking I was going to perform. I'm like, I can't get my head out of this space. It's not feeling positive right now, and I need to get out of it. And we had that workshop, and I credit that workshop with turning my mindset completely around and being able to walk away as second runner up and feeling so successful in my performance. So I love that you're creating those opportunities for other girls too, because that mindset is so important to have.
Absolutely. And
That is
that's exactly why I did
really
it
cool.
because I can just see firsthand, and even yourself just expressing that experience, it supports you in any area of life. It supports you in horse riding, modeling, pageantry, careers, interests, relationships. It's all about shifting to positive growth mindset.
Yes, positive growth mindset. That is such, those keywords, those are so important, because that is where all of the magic happens. And it's
Yeah.
so good to see. So I love that you're doing that. And something that you mentioned too, and part of your mindfulness and what you do, it kind of relates to my platform in a way, is I heard the word confidence. And so I'm a confidence workshop facilitator. That's where I'm at. So I love to ask other queens. My first question in this realm is, what is your definition of confidence? Because I feel like that definition is so unique to each individual, and I'd love to hear what your version of confidence is.
I love this question, probably even a bit too much. But for me, confidence is a self knowing, it is a trust within yourself. And it is a perceived trust in yourself in any area of life, in any applied situation. It's a knowing and a trust within yourself. That's what confidence is.
Love that. That keyword trust is so strong, and I
Mhm.
love hearing that that's your definition. It's very similar to mine, so I absolutely love that. Now, what would you credit something, if you could pinpoint something that you feel has really helped your confidence personally, what would you say is something that's done that?
For me, confidence is something that can be taken away from you so easily in an environment such as horse riding because we can get quickly humbled in ways that are just not great at all. So when you are put in a life situation where you have to put yourself confident forward for the sake of your horse, for the sake of your career, it makes the stakes so high that you need to be putting your best foot forward. So horses have really helped build my confidence. And truthfully, when it comes to having bad accidents or even just things that don't go your way in the arena, which happens all the time, it reminds you that when you are confident, you can't, there's nothing that can really be taken away from you. It is choosing to look at it in a positive way, and being confident allows you to be unscathed. And I love that horses have given me that for so many other areas of life. I know when I'm confident for even things I might not be fully knowledgeable about, it's still the best version of myself. And, fake it till you make it a little bit. That's also how it started for me. I like to briefly mention that because confidence isn't organic to everyone. And for me, working with an animal that is wild, and they are constantly changing and can react in unpredictable ways, you have to almost force yourself confidence when you don't even know what that feeling might be. So when it comes to, coming back to pageant week, I know regardless of the result, I'm okay. I'm coming home in one piece. I'm coming home with a new outlook of life. And that's my favorite thing about confidence and where it began for me.
I absolutely love that you just said fake it till you make it, because one of the things I teach in my confidence workshop is a confidence building method that I developed based off my life experiences. And
Yeah.
it's a 4-step acronym. And I'm going to tell you the components because I think I can pick out which one might be your favorite, but I'll let you pick at the end. So it's the acronym SELF, and it stands for self care prioritized, exercise your skills, listen to positivity, and fake it until you make it, and you will. So, what one of those components would you still say fake it till you make it is your favorite? Or is there another one that you're kind of like, I like that one?
I really liked taking the feedback one as well as fake it till you make it. Because for me, those are both similar. Like fake it till you make it is allowing yourself to receive, that constructive criticism or just other outlooks and opinions from people. I like that. That helps you, palm fake it till you make it is allowing yourself to respond to those things and listen. I love that. Such a cool acronym. That's really
Yes,
creative.
absolutely. Thank you. I was able to bottle my first ever pageant experience. I did the behind the scenes in 2023 and I competed in January 2024. I was top 20 at a national pageant, which was really cool for my first experience. I had no idea what I was getting into. And then I kind of went through this like personal crash course, and I'm like, okay, well, confidence was the one thing that I really knew I did not have on that stage. So how do I get to this place where I walk out on that stage in September, with the first time I competed at this system, and be more confident? How do I do that? And so I went through the process. I kind of figured it out on my own, and I thought, I'm going to package this up, because I walked away as second runner up at my second ever pageant. So it was like, okay, how do we teach others how to do this method? And it just kind of fell into place. And every time I talk to someone about it, I love hearing what the individual components that people love are, because some people are like self-care, and some people are like, ooh, the listen to positivity, and some people bring up fake it till you make it. And so it's so cool to hear those things. And you also kind of mention a version of fake it till you make it that sometimes people overlook. And so a lot of times people hear fake it till you make it and they think being something that you're not, or portraying something that's not authentic to you. But I can tell that your definition is much more being authentically yourself and just pushing for that best foot forward. So I love that you do that too. That I think that's really important. And I've heard you say the word authenticity. So I love that that's kind of where your mind is at and where your space is. That's really cool.
Yeah, you know already.
Well, you can kind of tell too when people are authentic, right? There's
Mm,
some people that have a completely different thing going on, and then there's some where you can tell are just genuinely so excited and authentically themselves. And you definitely have the whole authenticity thing down pat. So I absolutely love that. If you became famous tomorrow and had a published quote, what would it be?
okay. If I became famous tomorrow, my published quote, it would definitely be, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. Yeah. That quote to me
I
has,
like that.
yeah, it's a pivotal quote for my own personal journey with horses. and even pageantry and modeling as well. I had my mentor that when I was about 15 or 16 years old, and I kept coming to her with these problems and things that I just didn't know how to respond to or what to do next. And she's like, "Well, Lana, how bad do you want it?" And I was like, "Oh, damn, I keep coming up with different things to complain about, different excuses, different things that I was genuinely lost in." And clicked, self-discipline and motivation just took over. And that I love to tell people because it puts it into perspective of, well, how bad do you want this? Where's the purpose? Where's how much motivation do you genuinely have for this, whatever it is, careers, hobbies, sport, you name it. It's such a special quote. I love
I think it really puts things into perspective too, because a lot of times people will think that they want something really bad, but they can't answer why.
it.
So
Yes.
the fact that you can kind of identify you want it really bad and why you want it so badly is something that people should learn to articulate better. And I can hear the passion in your voice behind what you're wanting, but I'd like to know the specifics. If you were to walk away tomorrow as the Australia Teen Galaxy winner, what is it that you want most about this title or you're most looking forward to, and why?
If I were the Miss Teen Galaxy Australia for 2026, my main ambition is to use the national title to access a larger audience for my platform. Because now that I would have experienced pageantry for the second time and having that many months of hard work, dedication, networking with people, I can continue to spread the message of advocating for youth mentorship and lifelong learning and give back the skills that I know youth so desperately seek. Being a teen winner means that I'm going to be reaching a teen audience. And that means that I can either, you know, go online that they're going to say, being listed on the Galaxy page, people are going to read my message, read something about me and either connect with it, relate to it in some way, shape, or form, or want to know more about it. And feedback or just have access to my resources and my tips, of course, because having lived through so many unique experiences when it comes to, the highs and lows of sport, learning how to put my best forward mindset wise for pageantry, I believe I would be able to support so many girls for pageants because I simply know what works and doesn't work now. I have a beautiful coach who is consistently reminding me of ways to perceive, ways that will support me long term, ways that I know that with or without the crown, I'm going to become a better, stronger person. And that is my main ambition, wanting to be the teen winner next year because it's going to this massive steam train of work that I'm doing access, if it just comes down to meeting a girl at the finals the following year, being able to connect with them on something, that is just my mission all over the place. And I know that with the title there is an unlimited amount of experiences that I can have, and that's definitely the main ambition. I talk about it forever, honestly, but I've really have dig deep within myself and what's the thing is giving back the learning and the resources obtained.
I love that. And it's so funny because something popped into my head as you were
Hmm.
talking about that. And it's how you were using the word elevate so that you can expand your platform. And all I could think of was elevate her so she can elevate you. And it
Yes,
just like clicked. I think we just found your catchphrase.
thank you so much.
I feel like that is the cutest little catchphrase. Elevate her so she can elevate
Elevate
you.
you.
Or you could say elevate me so I can elevate you. It's perfect.
Yeah. What I
But
was
I
saying
love that
prior was
you're
actually,
using.
yeah, yeah. I'll be very quick. My first slogan was elevate you because it starts with you. But I like yours more because yours references a link between people. I'll build you up because you're going to help build up myself even more. It's just transferable. I love that though.
It's very symbiotic, and I think that's what you really truly get from pageantry is you meet all of these incredible girls and women that all have their own uniqueness, and when you pull from each other's strengths, you all become powerhouses. So the concept that you'd be able to use the title to elevate so many others and make more powerful girls is super awesome. So I absolutely love that, and I love the concept of the whole thing. So I definitely love your platform, and I'm here
Thank
for it.
you.
Anything that any sort of message or anything that we haven't specifically hit on today that you really want to get out there? I always love to ask this question because sometimes in interviews, even with judges, you might not get the opportunity to say something that's really on your heart or your mind, and you're like,
Yeah.
darn, I just wish that they asked me this so I could tell the judges. So I'd love to know if there's something that you want to share that you want to be a key takeaway, something that's on your heart or mind, what you'd like to share.
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to have this opportunity to answer that because for me, my definitely this really important message is I want to let any teen know, any pageant girl know that you are truly capable of anything that you set your mind to. Because I love the idea of your dreams will follow you when you put in the work. I always love to find different examples of moments in my life where I've put in the hard work and it's been returned back to me in the most beautiful way. And I just can't keep, advocating for that any more than I do because every young girl that comes through to me through my events, I remind them, whenever your dreams feel too big to fathom, trust me, you put in the work, you will receive it in return. There's always something more valuable than material success. I love share that with people in any way possible. You are so, so capable of amazing, beautiful things in your life. Don't let anyone put you down or perceive you in the wrong way because everyone and anyone can do what they truly desire. And especially when you're going to come from a place that is so positive and it's based on personal growth, you are always going to find success in your life. And I think that that really does start with pageantry, especially for me, is having something to look forward to, finding something that I know is going to be hard, putting in the work and retrieving all of the beautiful things that comes with that hard work and dedication. So that's definitely my message is that anyone and everyone can achieve anything that they desperately seek in their life and it's always going to come back to them and they're capable of it. Thank you.
It honestly reminds me a lot of my sign off phrase for the podcast, which is you always have a second chance. You just have to be willing to take it. Because so many times we hear these internal you can'ts or these negative whispers or other people try and tell us you can't or you won't or whatever. And it's when we decide that we're going to go for it anyway and take that chance is when all the magic happens and the dreams come true.
Yeah.
So I love your mindset that if you're determined enough, it will happen because it is so true. You can make excuses all day long, but when you decide you're ready, there is absolutely nothing that will hold you back. So I love to see that grit, and you have such a determination behind you that I love to see. And it's a fire that if you have it, you have it, and you definitely have it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now I have a couple of fun questions. I like to just do some silly questions at the end. So, my famous one that everybody loves to do is other than myself, if you could designate an honorary second chance queen from a musician, a famous person, an athlete, whoever you want, who would you nominate to join my ranks as an honorary second chance queen?
I think my horse riding instructor, my mentor, she is a great example of a second chance because her background came from absolutely nothing. She was, deprived. She always refers to it as like a Cinderella story. And she did not have a fairy godmother that picked her up her feet and helped her get to the ball. She put in the hard put in the dedication and she put in the work, most importantly. And her results is, being recognized famously across the world, across America, New Zealand, and Australia as one of the greatest horse riders to exist. And her second chance started from when she chose to leave her home at only 15 years old and make it out in the horse world. And she made something out of nothing. And that is to me the one of the greatest examples of a second chance in the horse world.
I love Cinderella stories. They're like my favorite thing ever. So I'm super excited to hear that. And I will definitely have to get her information because I'm going to
Yeah,
make a little infographic for her. So I will definitely
yeah.
be getting with you after this so that we can get all that
Mhm.
information so she can join the ranks and become fully official. I'm going to rapid fire a couple questions to you. So this is just like a fun thing to just get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to start with high heels or flats.
Ooh, high heels. My feet are built for high heels.
I love that. You probably have amazing arches riding horses too. Crown or sash?
Ooh, I think crown. There's something about a physical material I love so much. Crown for sure.
Ooh, that's a good one. Professional hair or professional makeup?
That's a tough one. Professional makeup.
I agree there. Runway and being on the stage or interview?
What my most authentic answer to that would definitely be interview because I love to talk. I love to spread my message. That's like my most authentic genuine answer. But Lana's like how do I say this? Lana's like material girl answer is high fashion runway.
Absolutely. Yes, you also are on the modeling end of things. So I will ask a modeling runway or a pageant stage?
Well, it's so tough. Do you know what? It has to be a pageantry stage now because I love to smile and put in energy. With modeling, you, depending on where you work, you're gonna have no energy to a lot of energy. And I love that pageantry is consistent with the smiles and the high vibes. I live for that.
I love that. You totally killed that lightning round, by the way. So kudos to you. You're the first person I've introduced that to, and you set the bar really high. So that was awesome. Before
Yeah,
we end our episode tonight, I want
yeah,
you to tell us when and where we can expect to see your finals and
yeah.
how we can support you leading up to that stage.
Yeah. So the official competition is now less than 5 or 4 months away, and it's going to be held in Sydney, Australia, May of 2026. So I believe it is the first week of May. Specifically, it would be like the 2nd till the 4th of May, something like that is where the event schedule starts for competition, and where that will be accessible is via my Instagram page. We all the contestants share the live streaming link on our Insta stories as a post as well. So anyone, anywhere can watch it in their time zone, and it is recorded, so you can replay it again. And in terms of preparation for it, any support, from my Insta page would be so appreciated. Just, checking in here and there what I'm up to makes the biggest difference because it's nice to know that people are supporting what I'm doing and enjoying it along with me because I love the idea of the journey, not the destination, because then we can all feel like we're taking home something away that I've either done and someone can learn from it, or just see me on stage, and that is just so fun in itself.
My final question, because you're 18, so I have to know. We're going to say that this is your year. Second runner up was last year. This year, you're taking the teen crown. But on the off chance you don't, are you going to come back as a miss next year?
Mm.
Is that in the
Well,
cards potentially?
I think I always my dream title is definitely Miss Teen Galaxy Australia, but if it means that I don't by any chance, I still would love to continue with Galaxy because I love the idea that it's got something unique to offer in each, different division. And I always love the idea, now being 18, my final year as a teen, love to try swimwear as a miss. That would be very cool. So I think I can say yes to that if it were for my chances this year. definitely 2027, Lana, could be a cool idea as a miss. I like that.
I'm always looking at like future goals ahead. And so
Mhm.
I was like, I wonder if I will see her as a miss because I've seen some teen finalists
Yeah.
have been on the show and I've had some miss finalists on the show. So it would be also really cool for you to be this year's teen and then in the future maybe come back and compete as a miss too. So
Yeah, that
either
has actually
way,
happened
I would love to see you on that
before.
stage. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had such a fun time getting to know you and your platform Elevate You. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide you into the back room. You'll still be able to see me do the outro, but they won't see you anymore and you can relax. And then I'll pull you back from the back room and we'll try and get these videos to upload and be good to go. So, if you don't have anything else to say or nothing you want to leave a final message, if you do, you can leave a final message and then I'll slide you into the back room.
Cool. Thank you so much. I did genuinely have such a fun time as well. Oh, this was the perfect structured podcast, fun conversation like things. It was really great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me on tonight's episode of the Second Chance Queen podcast featuring the amazing Lana Schulenberg. She is absolutely an inspiration. She is a teen icon and she is potentially your 2020 Australia Galaxy winner. We're going to manifest that for her. But she is an absolutely amazing national finalist. She's doing outstanding things. Please follow along her platform, Elevate You, and let's elevate her so that she can continue to elevate you and the youth in her community and hopefully maybe one day around the world. So we are going to wish the absolute best for Lana. I hope that she succeeds with that fire and everything that she does going forward. And I think she is definitely a teen to watch and going to do amazing things in this world. Thank you so much for joining my conversation with Lana tonight. And remember, as the second chance queen, you always have a second chance. You just have to be willing to take it.